Hi, it's Ray from IELTS Focus. Now, in this video, I want to look at a key skill, which is analysing the question in IELTS Writing Task 2. If you don't properly analyse the question, you could end up writing a completely different essay, or you may end up writing very generally about the topic and not actually covering the issues. And in the IELTS marking criteria, there's something called a task response. Task response means how well you actually answer the question. And a lot of problems come from not actually understanding the question, or maybe writing too generally, or just missing the issues in the actual topic. So in the following video, we're going to look at this in much more detail. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into analysing the question for IELTS Writing Task 2. Why is analysing the question so important? Well, first of all, the examiner needs to know that you have understood the question and that you are on topic. This is marked under task response in the IELTS marking criteria. Now, task response is about how well you answer the question. So before planning or thinking of ideas or putting your pen to paper, the first thing you must do is understand what the question is asking from you. If you don't take time to analyse the question properly, or if you just go straight into writing the essay, you could end up writing a completely different essay and lose a whole band score in task response. Now, there's three common reasons why people fail in task response, or maybe why they get a much lower score in task response. Not clearly understanding the question, so they end up writing a completely different essay. Not wanting to waste time studying the question, so they miss the key points in the question. A lot of people think that they don't want to waste time and they want to go straight into just writing the essay, and they give very little time to planning, maybe just a couple of minutes. So that's a big mistake. We're going to get onto that a little bit later. Another reason is writing too generally about a topic and not considering the specific issues. You have to look at the specific issues in the question, in the task question. So there's three things you need to do first. First of all, underline the key topic words and become clear about the issues in the question. Then you have to underline the instruction words. Check if it's asking for your opinion. We're going to look at instruction words in a moment. Become familiar with what kind of essay it is by studying the instruction words. There are 5 types of essay in IELTS Task 2, Writing Task 2. So let's get on to instruction words. What are instruction words? Let's look at some examples. Here we have a task question. Some people believe that it's better for children to start learning a foreign language at primary school rather than secondary school. Do the advantages of this outweigh the disadvantages? Instruction words show us what we have to write about and indicate what kind of essay it should be. In this case, it's asking if the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. And outweigh means, in this case, it means, are the advantages stronger than the disadvantages? And you'll note that this essay actually asks for your opinion, so make sure you include an opinion in the essay. Here are some more examples of instruction words. Discuss both of these views and give your own opinion. This is a discussion essay, so you have to cover both views and give your own opinion. Then we've got what are the causes of the problem, what can be done to solve it. This is a causes solution essay, very similar to a problem solution essay, but in this case it's the causes of the problem and it's asking for a solution. And to what extent do you agree and disagree? To what extent means how much do you agree or disagree? Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? This is advantage disadvantage essay. There's another type of essay which is called a 2-part question essay, where it just basically asks you 2 direct questions. Let's look at these in a little bit more detail. So discuss both these views, give your own opinion. This is pretty straightforward. You've got to write about both of the views outlined in the question, whatever the question is. You have to cover both sides. And that means what other people think of the issue. Then, after writing about what other people think, you must write your own opinion, because it's asking you to give your own opinion. And your opinion must also be in the thesis statement. What are the causes of the problem? What can be done to solve it? So you just have to outline one, maybe two causes of the issue and recommend one or two solutions. In this case, the instruction words do not ask for a direct opinion. It's asking for some kind of recommendation of how to solve the problem. So, as you can see, causes, it's asking for the examples of the causes of the problem, not just the problem itself. And a key point here is that if the question doesn't ask for your opinion, then don't give it. Next one is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So this is asking for your opinion, whether you agree or disagree, and to what extent means how much. How much do you agree? How much do you disagree? Do you completely agree, partially agree, or totally disagree, or maybe you neither agree nor disagree? So you choose one side and you stick with that in your essay. So you're going to give your opinion. And we had this one earlier, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Now the phrase outweigh, again, it means are the advantages stronger than the disadvantages? And you need to give your opinion. And you'll have to write about examples of the advantages and disadvantages and give your opinion on which side that you think is stronger. So how much time should be given to this analysing the question? I recommend about 1 to 2 minutes. I suggest about 10 minutes planning time for the whole essay. That includes analysing the question, then thinking of ideas. You've got to get ideas after that. You've got to think of the right structure, and you've got to look at then paraphrasing the question and a thesis statement. So there's all these things you've got to consider before you even start writing the essay. So a well-planned essay is likely to be a very good essay. So even if your English level is quite high, if you don't plan properly, you could still end up with a band 6, even though your English level would indicate that your level is a band 7 or more. So planning is crucial here. Let's look at an example question again. It's the same question as before. So some people believe it's better for children to start learning a foreign language at primary school rather than secondary school. Now, some candidates will start to write about language learning in general, or how kids learn languages, and it may be very general, not specific enough. So you've got to be very specific when you write the essay. Let's look at the keywords. So we've got some people believe, we've got better, children, learning a foreign language, primary school, and rather than secondary school. So the choice between A or B, primary school or secondary school. What is the advantage or the disadvantage, sorry, the advantage and the disadvantage of this? Some people believe shows the general opinion, the public opinion on the issue. Now when it comes to answering a question, we're going to look at 2 introductions, have a look and decide which ones or which one do you think is better. So some people hold the view that youngsters should go to school from an early age. There are problems to this idea, however, so I would like to outline some solutions in the following essay. Second one, some argue that youngsters should study a non-native language at primary school as opposed to secondary school. I agree that the advantages are stronger than the disadvantages because children pick up and master new languages much easier and quicker than at high school age. Well, it's quite obvious that the second one is a much better introduction because in the second one, the candidate has covered all the issues and given a good thesis statement. So if we analyse that, the first one talks about going to school. It's quite clear that the candidate has not understood the question or hasn't given any time to analysing the question. The task is asking about studying a foreign language or children studying a foreign language, not about going to school. And the thesis statement is wrong. It looks like a problem solution essay in the thesis statement. There are problems to the idea, and I'd like to outline some solutions. And then this phrase or this sentence in red, I'd like to outline some solutions in the following essay. This is actually memorized. This is considered a memorized sentence. So I wouldn't bother with just memorizing sentences and then putting them into your essay. This would be like a band 5 on task response. However, in the second one, it's a much better answer. The candidate has clearly understood the question, paraphrased quite well. Foreign languages is a non-native language at primary school as opposed to secondary school. The thesis statement is quite good, and there's a reason for the view. So he stated his view and then given a reason for that. Pick up and master new languages is much easier and quicker than at high school age. Now, I've had some students who sent me essays to correct, and they've actually written very good essays, but the problem is it was a completely different essay to what was asked in the actual task question. So one student had an essay which was about the advantages and disadvantages, but the task question was asking to discuss both views and give your own opinion. So this is why you have to be very careful about being very specific and staying on the topic of the task question. So here's another one. In this case, I've highlighted the words in red. So we've got all over the world, a growing problem, obesity, affects children and adults, reasons, and how can it be tackled. In this case, you need to do two things. You need to write about the reasons for the growing problem of obesity, and you've got to write about possible solutions or ways the issue can be solved. If you just wrote about a problem, gave no solution, then your essay will be unbalanced. The task response will be quite low, maybe a band 5 for task response. And of course, in this case, the task question doesn't actually ask for a direct opinion, just recommendations for how the issue can be solved. Okay, thanks for your time. If you need any more lessons or tips or free lessons, go to my blog. It's IELTSfocus.com. Okay, thank you.